Hmm. Hi there, I'm Ronald Lesko. Welcome once again to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. As you can probably tell, tonight's show is going to be a little bit different. We're normally live on the first Sunday of the month, bringing you some of the finest singers, songwriters in this country and beyond. But tonight, well, some of us are on vacation, a summer vacation, a well-deserved vacation. And of course, others are very hard at work, especially Brandon O'Sullivan, our engineer who puts these great shows together. And what he's done is put together a highlight show of some of our favorite moments since we began doing this again back in the summer of 2020. The Greenwich Village Folk Festival has presented so many amazing artists since we came back in 2020, and we're still going strong. We've taken August and September off. We're going to do some of these highlight shows, and we'll be back in October with a brand new show live, a Phil Oakes Song Night. I'll be co-hosting that with Sonny Oakes, and I'll tell you more about that and some of the great guests we have coming up a little later on in tonight's program. But tonight, you're going to witness some of our favorites. And again, it's hard to choose from. It's like picking your favorite kid, you know? We all have so many wonderful memories, and perhaps you have some as well. And maybe you can write to us, and maybe next month you'll get to see one of your favorites as well. But tonight, I don't think you'll be disappointed. You're going to hear from Jasper Lepak, Scott Ainsley, Abby Posner, Joe Jenks, Emma's Revolution, Tom Prasado Rao, Chris Matthews, and John McCutcheon. Not a bad lineup. I think you're going to enjoy it. Now, the Greenwich Village Folk Festival is a free event. It's a gift to the community. It started back in the 1980s and took a little hiatus, came back during the pandemic. And as I said before, we're going strong. We'll be here every month. But it's all because of help from people just like you. We've been relying on donations, some generosity of people who have been giving to our tip jar. And you can do the same tonight. You can go to our website, greenwichvillagefolkfestival.org, and you'll see a donate button there for PayPal. And there's also information, I believe, on the screen that or the chat feature, which will link you to it as well. So if you can help us out, it's greatly appreciated. It keeps this event going. And as I said, we have some big plans coming up in the fall. But right now, I want you all to sit back and enjoy. It's time to, grab something cold from the fridge and listen to some great music this evening. So in the words of the immortal sports broadcaster, Warner Wolf, let's go to the videotape. Or digital file. I mean, it is 2023 after all. Let's take a listen now. I think Jasper Lepak is up first. Enjoy.
Our next performer is Jasper Lepak. Jasper, who is now based in Minnesota, has also lived in the American Southwest, the Northwest, and South Africa. I discovered Jasper's music a couple of years ago through her wonderful album, Desert Ghosts, an album filled with insightful songs about the nature of human relationships and a life of change. In reading about Jasper, I discovered that she grew up studying classical piano and turned to the guitar and to songwriting after earning a master's degree in creative writing, and that certainly comes through in her songwriting. She's also got a bunch of earlier albums that I hope to hear sometime, and I will now turn it over to her. Without any further ado, this is Jasper Lepak.
Hey, it's just so good to be here, and I'm going to start with a song that I'm working on right now. I'm recording a new album, and I'm doing it in Seattle, where I used to live. So it was really lovely to hear a song about Gasworks Park, because I just went for a walk there about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so this song is called My Own Moves. I stayed up late last night with a glass of wine, turned the TV on just to pass the time. Two people fell in love right there on the screen, and I remembered how we used to be when our blood was young, when our hearts were sure when love was easy. It's just the way we learn to dance. You take the lead, I'll follow your steps. Now it's my turn to trust my own moves, but it ain't easy. No, it ain't easy. Do you remember when we used to talk all night, hold each other close till the morning light? There was no holding back, only letting go, an open road ahead. We couldn't wait to travel. I felt so understood. The future shines so bright when love was easy. It's just the way we learn to dance. You take the lead, I'll follow your steps. Now it's my turn to trust my own moves, but it ain't easy. No, it ain't easy. They never tell you how time's gonna wear you down. You'll break your promises, give up without a sound. Two people build a wall that they can't break through, doing hurtful things they swore they'd never do. When their blood was young, when their hearts were sure, when love was easy. It's just the way we learn to dance. You take the lead, I'll follow your steps. Now it's my turn to trust my own moves, but it ain't easy. No, it ain't easy. Now it's my turn to trust my own damn moves, but it ain't easy. No, it ain't easy.
Thank you so much. Whew, the live stream nerves like really caught me when I started that song. It's just so wonderful to be here with all of you, and I'm going to sing a song about from my last album, Desert Ghosts. This song was inspired by a poem, and I'll show you the book of poetry. This is Olives by A.E. Stallings, and there's a poem in here called Triolet on a Line, apocryphally ascribed to Martin Luther. It's a long title for a pretty short poem, and the theologian Martin Luther supposedly said, "Why should the devil get all the good tunes?" And A.E. Stallings wrote a poem about that, and I thought it should be a song. So this is called Why Should the Devil? Why should the devil get all the good tunes? The booze and the neon and the rhythm and blues, the swaying in the darkness and the lovers like spoons. Why should the devil get all the good tunes? And why should the devil have all the real fun? The fire and the freedom and the coming undone, the Saturday nights and the beating of the drums. Why should the devil have all the real fun? Told me that the devil likes to dance, dressed up in the shadows, always looking for his chance. Snake in the garden, wanna change my plans. I think the devil is a music man. Why should
the devil get all the good tunes? Does he sing them on Sunday in those dim-lit rooms, rocking out the jukebox, making bad men swoon? Why should the devil get all the good tunes? And why should the devil want to steal my soul? This wretched bowl of lonesome and this need to be whole. Just a lost little puppy always looking for a home. Why should the devil want to steal my soul? My mama told me that the devil likes to dance, dressed up in the shadows, always looking for his chance. Snake in the garden, wanna change my plans. I think the devil is a music man. Is God so good? Why don't he have soul? Don't he hear the music, wanna lose control? Feel the heavy rhythm, wanna rock and roll. God so good, why don't he have soul? Why should the devil get all the good tunes? The songs that make you sweat, the songs that make you move, the songs that make you feel like you got nothing to lose. Why should the devil get all the good tunes? And why should the devil keep me up at night, whisper in my ear, do what I like, sounding so wrong but feeling so right? Why should the devil keep me up at night? My mama told me that the devil likes to dance, dressed up in the shadows, always looking for his chance. Snake in the garden, wanna change my plans. I think the devil is a music man. I think the devil is a music man. Why should the devil get all the good tunes? The booze and the neon and the rhythm and blues, the swaying in the darkness and the lovers like spoons. Why should the devil get all the good tunes?
Nice.
It was always so much fun to play. Thank you. I'm recording a new album. I'm hoping to release it in October if all goes as planned. And it's a song about a lot of feminist issues, reproductive rights, pregnancy, caregiving, equality in relationships, all of those themes. And this song I'm going to sing for you now, I wrote in the weeks following the overturning of Roe v. Wade last June. And at the time, I was still recovering from a miscarriage. And even though I consider myself a feminist, I really didn't know that miscarriage care and abortion care are the same medical procedure, same medication. And I just could not imagine being abandoned by my healthcare providers in that time of grief. So there was this really raw emotion around the Supreme Court's decision. And then since then, all of these stories from women around our country who are going through really life and death situations that are completely unnecessary. And I just wanted to write a song that said, you know, a woman is a human being and we need to be seen that way too. It's called I Am Human. And I'm going to start over. I got really nervous and emotional, and I was about to play that in the wrong key with a out of tune note. So let me try that one more time. Okay. You don't know me, but I'm someone like you. I am a woman. I am human too. I am your mother, your daughter, your sister, your friend. I am a woman. I am human. You don't know me, but I dream just like you. I've got big plans, important things to do. I've got my liberty, I've got my happiness to pursue. You don't know me, but I'm just like you. How
human. You could be me with one roll of the dice. You could lose everything, all of your power, your voice. When it was written, it was one vote for every white man. We will lose everything if we let this stand. How can a person be expected to die no more than a vessel for a possible life? Can't you see me for all that I am? I am a woman, I am a human. I'm not a sinner, I'm not yours to control. I'm not the cause of the fall of man. I am your mother, your daughter, your sister, your lover, your friend. You already know me, and you've got to trust me. You already know me, and you've got to trust me. You already know me. I am human, I am human, I am human.
Thank you, Jasper. That is a powerful song and a much-needed song. Thank you for writing that. I know that's got to be a difficult song to write and perform. And I hope some of our viewers are watching and listening tonight will check out Jasper's website, jasperlepak.com. And you can find that song as a digital download as well as her other recordings. And I know Mike and I are both anxiously looking forward to that new album this fall, so we look forward to that. Jasper Lepak.
Our next artist is Scott Ainsley, and Scott is an important link on the folk music chain, who includes performances of music he picked up from some of the first and second generation recording and performing artists in both the blues and gospel and old-time Appalachian traditions. And this is actually not the first time I've introduced Scott Ainsley at a folk festival event. The first time was probably 25 or so years ago at the Champlain Valley Folk Festival in Vermont, where I emceed for many years. And when I heard Scott at the Champlain Valley Festival, I remember being mightily impressed with how deeply he plunged into the wells of traditional music. His playing and singing are deeply informed by the masters he's listened to in person and on records recorded in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, and beyond. Here is Scott Ainsley.
Mike, thank you. How nice to have you guys here and be in such fine company. I'm going to start with a song that I wrote in 2008 about the loss of a migrant in the Sonoran Desert. Since Jasper hails from there, I thought that this song might be appropriate. I go to the market in the town I was born. It's full of cheap clothes from China and American corn. But we have a small farm that we water with tears. How can we compete? The gringo farms are so big, now we cannot stay here. And why would I leave the land that I love? Consuelo, Rosalita, Mama y Papa, my grandma. I came back, she was gone. And why did we leave the land that we love? Consuela, Rosalita, Mama y Papa. My grandfather's bones are up on the hill. If it weren't for low wages, I'd be living there still. Who cares if your markets are free? Look what you've done to my wife and me. Who cares if your markets are free? Next song comes from the playing of a man named Emmett Murray, who was born in the early years of the 20th century and as a teenager went into the turpentine camps in South Georgia or Central Florida. And the camps were set up so that you would be promised like $1 a day to go into the pine woods and strip pine bark and render it into turpentine for 6 or 8 weeks, eating bad company food, drinking weak coffee, and sleeping in their tents, and then under the guns of white overseers, be dropped off when all the barrels were full. And they would typically not pay you your wages, withholding it for your room and board. So nobody did this twice, but a lot of young black men went into the woods hoping to come out with $60 or $80 at the end of 2 months. And when they actually wound up with nothing, and the white folks had the turpentine and they had been robbed and no recourse. So he only did this once, but he came out of that camp with this song, and it tells us more about that life than anything you can imagine. It was recorded in 1980 by Dwight Devane, the folklorist for the Florida State folklorist, and a fine player himself. Emmett Murray, You Better Lie Down. Captain got away, he got to stop waking me up at 4 o'clock. You old long time rounders, you better lie down. Lay down late, but you get up soon. Ain't seen nothing but the stars and the moon. All you old long time rounders, you better lie down. lie down. Might be crazy, but I ain't no fool. I'm going back to Florida where I don't have to plow no mules. All of you old long time rounders, you lie down. Better lie down. A record that I recorded with Scott Petito over in Woodstock, New York, called The Feral Crow. It's a record of non-blues songs that just needed to find a way out, and it's called Cold in Here. I don't know why. just wait and see. It's alright. Day breaks the night. What's done is past. Love's all that lasts. What shall we do? Don't it feel cold in here to you? Thanks so much. So good to be with you all tonight. Thank you a lot.
Thank you.
And our next performer, I am so excited to introduce this artist. I actually had my first opportunity to hear her at a virtual folk DJ online showcase that my peers and I put together back in early 2021, just at the height of the pandemic. And I became an instant fan, but I got to tell you, I'm a latecomer to learning about Abby. She has been a working musician in LA for the past 16 years. She's composed music for commercials, television, film, radio shows all over the globe. She's even appeared in 2 episodes of the show Glee, playing banjo and guitar. She's also scored 4 films while playing and touring with her indie folk band, Abby and the Myth. And her latest album, Kisby Ring, was released in November of 2021, and it charted in the top 40 of the folk radio charts. And she'll be an official showcase artist at the upcoming Folk Alliance International Conference. And if that weren't all, she'll also be touring in the Pacific Northwest in May and June. Her sound is unique and compelling, and it really pushes boundaries. You can call it soul, folk, bluegrass, roots, pop, whatever you call it. Her music is infectious, and it is a privilege to be able to welcome her to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival for the first time, but I'm betting it won't be the last. Please welcome Abby Posner.
All right. Thank you for that beautiful introduction, Ron. I appreciate it. You've been hot and cold, or you're testing my soul. You're making it hard to go on. And every single day, I'm just sitting with my pain. All this 20/20 vision did me wrong. Well, I might be seeing clear, but you only gave me fear. The nights are dragging and days are feeling long. Well, I'm losing my mind, and I have no sense of time. All this 20/20 vision did me wrong. Take the time to let go, but there's a devil inside us all. Use this time to grow, and this 20/20 vision won't do you wrong. And this 20/20 vision won't do you wrong. Oh, you stripped me of my pride. You made me sad. You took away my song. Well, I know you're not here to stay, but I wish you would go away. All this 20/20 vision did me wrong. But take the time to let go, 'cause there's a devil inside us all. Use this time to go. This 20/20 vision won't do you wrong. This 20/20 vision won't do you wrong. Couldn't see past my own hand. Couldn't hear the cries throughout the land. Couldn't wander deep enough to free my soul. Never could see too far ahead. Never could believe this world would end. Always feeling empty, never feeling whole. Well, in the end I found that everything breaks down, making room for those new roads to go on. And it takes some time to mend, but there's hope around the bend. We needed 20/20 vision all along. We needed 20/20 vision all along. Woo. Thank you so much. Thank you guys, I really appreciate it. I'm gonna play a brand new one here for you. This is about living a simpler life. You know, I'm actually all the way in Los Angeles, and I love it here, but it can be a lot, and there's a lot of traffic, and there's a lot of sounds, and I'm actually from Colorado originally, and I often wonder what it would be like to just live in the woods and disappear, and live in the quiet. And so this is what that song is about. This is unreleased, hopefully coming out in the next couple months. And thank you so much again for having me here. This is a real honor to be among all of you. Watching the birds dance with the light, I could be saved in a wooden church, kneeling on a bed of crooked pine. I want thy simple life. I could sell my clothes, float down a river, get rid of my home and find a little peace. Or I could be brave and shake my head, settle with the monks and plant a couple seeds. 'Cause I want thy simple be southbound, singing with cicadas, have a few kids, wear a wedding band. We could give it some time and meet at our dive bar. Baby, we could fall all over again.
I've got one more here, and I'm actually changing my set a bit because the anniversary of Selma is tomorrow, and I felt like this was an important song to play. 57 years, I believe, 57th anniversary of Selma tomorrow. And, you know, things still feel the same in a way. We can't, our black and brown brothers and sisters can't trust the police, and I feel like it is our job as white folks to do some reflection and really think about if we've been passive, how can we speak up, how can we be better supports and allies to our friends of color. And it's important for me to do this work because I am a white person and I have grown up among a white bubble, and I thought, gosh, there are so many times that I've been able to check out when I hear the news of a black person dying because of a police officer shooting them. And I've been able to black that out, and I've been able to not think about it. And I don't want to do that anymore. I feel like it's time for us to be better and speak out. And this song is called Blind Spots. It actually won the Best Song of 2020 in the Topanga Fiddle Festival Award, and I'm so grateful for that.
Outside is keeping me awake, yet I feel numb and stuck in my ways. I'm checking my blind spots time and time again, but I stopped looking ahead. Oh, I stopped looking ahead. But who are we to say that everything's changed? Follow the rhythm of bigotry and hate. The message how we get, there's us and then them. Blood's on your hands and you keep holding them down. Ooh, oh, you keep holding them down. Down. Before we wake up, we become the problem when we keep our mouths shut. The man in the uniform is drunk on his power while the system stays in place. And we can't even talk about race. But who are we to say that everything's changed when we follow the rhythm of bigotry and hate? The message that we get, there's us and then them. The blood's on your hands and you keep holding them down. just close my eyes and I try to forget. He said, oh, I cannot breathe while you're on my neck. This is how we serve and protect. But who are we to say that anything's changed when we follow the rhythm of bigotry and hate? That's the time again. The blood's on your hands, the blood's on our hands, and we keep holding down. Ooh, oh, we keep holding him down, down. Ooh, oh, we keep holding him down. Oh, we keep holding him down. Thank you guys so much. My name's Abby Posner. I appreciate you guys.
Abby Posner, another memorable moment from the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. If you joined us late, we are not live this month, but we are presenting a highlights show, a program that was put together by our extraordinary engineer, Brandon O'Sullivan. Some of our favorites, I don't want to call it a best of, because after doing this since 2020, there are so many wonderful moments. I don't want to slight anybody, but these are a couple of highlights. And we'll be doing the same thing in September. And perhaps if there's somebody that you would like to see, well, just drop us a line and maybe we can squeeze that in as well. And we're going to be coming back live in October with a Phil Oakes Song Night. We'll tell you about that in a little bit. We've also got some great plans for the fall and beyond. So the Greenwich Village Folk Festival is going strong, and it's all because of wonderful people like you. Now, the festival is a gift to the community. It honors the music of Greenwich Village. It's an event that first began actually back in 1987. It was founded as a 501c3 organization to honor the music and legacy of the village music. And its founding producers were Rod MacDonald, Ray Mysick, Jay Rosen, and Jerry Hinson. There were annual concerts that were held in person from 1987 through 94. And back in 2020, when the pandemic began, we returned with these monthly online shows. And they've proven to be such a success that we're still here. And we've taken this month or two off. But as I said, we have great plans for the fall. And with your help, we can continue bringing this to you every month. I know there's a wonderful group that gets together in the chat feature every month, and it really is a community. So if you'd like to help us out, I know Ray Mysick is here tonight, and I believe he is putting links in the chat feature. You can also go to our website, greenwichvillagefolkfestival.org. You'll see a donate button. Or if you want to donate by mail, you can write out a check, make it out to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival, mail it to GVFF, Post Office Box 234, Jeffersonville, New York, zip code 12748. And we really thank you for your support. It goes to keep this going and also helps the performers. This money is donated to them, and especially during the pandemic, it was a huge help. And now, well, we're grateful that they continue to do this. And I'm so looking forward to the fall. I can't spill the beans yet, but we've got some great new performers coming up and some old favorites. Oh, it's going to be exciting. Well, let's get back to the highlights. Now, the next performer is someone who is, well, he's not a stranger to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. He's been here a number of times. He's an incredible songwriter. What a voice. Let's go to the videotape and welcome Joe Jenks.
Thank you. And now I got to introduce somebody that I met in the funniest way. We do the Phil Oakes Song Nights, and we travel this is the 40th anniversary of the Phil Oakes Song Nights, and we're going to be doing one here on Greenwich Village Folk Festival in October to celebrate 40 years. And this guy came to a song night in Cleveland. I didn't know him from Adam. And he walked in and he said, "Hi, I'd like to give you my CD." And he hands me his CD. And I look at the CD, and there's this picture of a guy. He looks like a truck driver on the CD. I'm thinking, this is probably a rock guy. Why is he giving this to me? So I took it home and listened, and I became an instant fan. He is just amazing, writes amazing songs, and has a voice to kill for. And I don't see you there. I hope you're there, Joe.
I am indeed. I am here.
They were hiding you. Okay. This is my dear friend. We've been, since that time, he's been in a lot of the film nights, and he's been to my house. He's just one, and he does a show that I love on Folk Music Notebook called My Highway Home, where he interviews people, and he's really one of the best interviewers I think I've heard. I've just learned so much about so many people listening to his show. Joe Jenks, take it away.
Thank you so much, Sonny. And a belated happy birthday to you a few weeks back. That was a wonderful thing. I was glad we got to chat a little bit. I don't very often wear Hawaiian shirts, and certainly not for performance, but as an homage to Rod McDonald, who's been working so hard the last 3 years to lift up the Greenwich Village Folk Festival online and bring us this resurrection of the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt tonight. Here's for you, brother. This is a song off of my latest album, came out August 1st of last year. It's called The Coming of the Years. When I first came here to wander these mountains, my heart was tattered and torn. Ever the rover and all the world over, no land ever felt like a home. But here in the crags and the bogs and the valleys, I found some measure of ease. Where the song of the wind is as sweet to behold as the beautiful rose of Tralee. And it's high up and over the mountains of Kerry that I love so dear. I don't know when I will see you again in the coming of the years. Now I have been blessed to live a good life. I can count my friends by the score, and I have shared meals and moments of kindness. God willing, I'll know many more. But when the burden I've chosen to shoulder is more than I can stand, I find that my thoughts wander back up to Kerry, that rugged and beautiful land. And it's high up and over the mountains of Kerry that I love so dear. I don't know when I will see you again in the coming of the years. When I have traveled all of my journeys and sung all of my songs, when I have given the best that I have and righted most of my wrongs, then take me back to the place that I love. Let me gaze out over the sea. Take me back to the mountains of Kerry and let my spirit run free. And it's high up and over the mountains of Kerry that I love so dear. I don't know when I will see you again in the coming of the years. And it's high up and over the mountains of Kerry that I love so dear. I don't know when I will see you again in the coming of the year. I don't know when, but I'll see you again in the coming of the years. I don't know when, but I'll see you again in the coming of the years.
Thank you. We just recently celebrated May Day, among other things. The Workers' Memorial Day, recognized internationally. And in 1919, the workers of Winnipeg, Manitoba went out on general strike. They held the city for 7.5 weeks. And their strike was timed to help commemorate the Haymarket Massacre in Chicago in 1886. But they sparked general strikes across North America and around the world. And in 2019, I was invited up to Winnipeg to help celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Winnipeg General Strike. And I wrote this song for the occasion. It's called Winnipeg 1919.
The year was 1919, and all around the world people started marching with their victory flag unfurled. We've shed our blood on battlefields, enslaved in deep dark mines. We rally to the banner, red and roses, it's our time. Come gather, fellow workers, and raise your voices strong. We rise today in Winnipeg to sing our victory song. Europe and to Canada, across the USA, we cry out for justice and for fair and equal pay. All sisters and brothers and all workers here unite. We strive for one big union and defend our common rights. Come gather, fellow workers, and raise your voices strong. We rise today in Winnipeg to sing our victory song. Halifax and Thunder Bay to the Fraser River shore, Seattle, San Francisco, and Chicago, hear us roar. From Boston on to Dublin town are heard the people's cries. No more to drudge and idler when the workers organize. Come gather, fellow workers, and raise your voices strong. We rise today in Winnipeg to sing our victory song. Though some of us were born of means and others not a dime, we spend our lives in service to a cause we hold sublime. All laborers in commonwealth, now let our voices say that one way or another we will bring the greater day. Come gather, fellow workers, and raise your voices strong. We rise today in Winnipeg to sing our victory song. Big Bill Haywood, Mother Jones, and Eugene Debs, along with Emma Goldman and Joe Hill and all the Reds, and all those fellow travelers who beckon to the call. An injury to one of us is an injury to all. Come gather, fellow workers, and raise your voices strong. We rise today in Winnipeg to sing our victory song. We may not win our struggle here, but sure as hell we'll try. For the future of our children, we are steadfast by and by. It's It's only when our minds are joined with muscle we can stand and bring to birth a new world, arm in arm and hand in hand. Come gather, fellow workers, and raise your voices strong. We rise today and win a pact to sing our victory song. Come gather, fellow workers, and raise your voices strong. We rise today and win a pact to sing our victory song. We rise up all around the world and sing our freedom song.
Thank you. Gonna switch instruments for my last song here. What a treat to be back with the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. It all goes by so fast. Hey, Rod, I wore a Hawaiian shirt in your honor tonight, and it's one of the first nights I've seen you not wearing a Hawaiian shirt in a long time. Of course, Gordon Lightfoot passed this week, and Gordon was an influence on many, many people. In 2016, I was privileged to play up at the Folk Festival, Mariposa Folk Festival in Orillia, Ontario, and I got to hang out with Gordon Lightfoot backstage for a while and chat with him. This is one of my songs, but I was 3 years old when the Edmund Fitzgerald sank, and probably 3.5 or 4 when Gord's song about the Edmund Fitzgerald was all over AM country radio. And my mom listened to a lot of that music, and I'm sure it had an influence on the song. It's called St. Christopher.
End of the season and the wind is bitter cold. It's just the sort of morning to make young boys feel old. The tanks are all topped off, we got the permits free and clear. One more good haul could see us through until we start next year. But it's my call alone to make, and one I hate to blow. 6 families now, including mine, dependent on the things I think I know. I know the wind and water, and I am not afraid. But living off the ocean is a complicated trade. I never get my profit margins or my pride confused with the safety of this vessel, or its good and hearty crew. But the time is now or never, and the weather looks to hold. I gather up the crew on deck, we bow our heads and pray before we go. St. Christopher, protect us from the cold and stormy sea. Watch over all these fishermen who put their trust in me. Never mind that salty spray or crashing of the wave. Bring us safely to our families and keep us from the grave. St. Christopher, we call on you this day. I've fished in weather worse than this at least 100 times. I still can't shake the shivers that are crawling up my spine. 11 hours out, the swells are getting deep. We can't put the nets out and it's too damn rough to sleep. If we stick it out till morning, things may calm down with the lights. If it turns against us, we'll be lucky if we see another night. St. Christopher, protect us from the cold and stormy sea. Watch over all these fishermen who put their trust in me. Never mind that salty spray or crashing of the wave. We will go back to our families. It isn't worth the grave. St. Christopher, we call on you this day. on a night like this my father went away. Even though my mother begged and pleaded him to stay, I was standing there waiting as his trawler left the docks. Saw the pictures of the wreckage that they found upon the rocks. 7 men were rescued of the 9 that left that day. The last they saw their captain, he was on the bridge. They swear they heard him say, St. Christopher, protect them from the cold and stormy sea. Watch over all these fishermen who put their trust in me. Never mind that salty spray or crashing up the wave. Bring them safely to their families or quickly to their graves. St. Christopher, I call on you this day. Now the difference between bravery and foolishness is small. A healthy sense of fear can bring perspective to us all. I know you men are hungry for the cash this catch could bring, and if we go back empty, we'll be real tight come spring. But I've learned history's lesson, and it isn't worth the pain. The things we stand to lose are so much greater than the things we have to gain. St. Christopher, protect us from the cold and stormy sea. Watch over all these fishermen who put their trust in me. Never mind that salty spray or crashing up the wave. We will go back to our families. It isn't worth the great. St. Christopher, we call on you this day. Christopher, protect us from the cold and stormy sea. Watch over all these fishermen who put their trust in me. Never mind that salty spray or crashing up the wave. We will go back to our families. It isn't worth the grave. St. Christopher, we call on you. Christopher, we call on you. St. Christopher, we thank you for this day.
So that song is on that CD you gave me.
Well, so much joy tonight in this festival, and thanks all. And I'm gonna hop out of the way so Emma's Revolution can get on with what they do.
Oh, I know. Oh my goodness, these two women are just so wonderful, and their voices blend like no other voices blend. And they've been working together for 20 years now. And you know, they worked for many years before they found each other. So we're such lucky recipients tonight to be here. They're known for their fearless, truth-telling lyrics and melodies you just can't resist singing. If you've ever heard the song Swimming to the Other Side, that's one of them. That's one of them. Emma's Revolution is dynamic, award-winning. They're activists. They're a duo. And what else can I say about them? They have sung for the Dalai Lama, and they've been praised by Pete Seeger. God bless him, that he knew early on when he saw them, he knew how special they were. And they've also been covered by Holly Near, who's pretty terrific. And here they are, Emma's Revolution.
Thanks so much. So great to be with you all. Well, as many folks have mentioned, this is May 1st, a day to remember the workers of the world. And this is an old song in a kind of a new arrangement that Sandy did years ago. This is one of the first songs actually that we sang together. words by James Oppenheim, and Mimi Farina put a tune to it, and I think we've sort of mixed sort of part of Mimi's version of it and part of one of the original melodies to it, and you will most definitely recognize it. It's sort of when I first heard it, I really felt like it was kind of a love song to the women who did the work in this country.
So sing with us.
As we go marching, marching in the beauty of the day, a million darkened kitchens, 1,000 mill of gray are touched with all the radiance that a sudden sun discloses. For the people hear us singing, bread and roses, bread and roses. As we go marching, marching, we battle too for men, for they are women's children. Let the mothers speak again. Our life shall not be sweated from birth until life closes. Hearts starve as well as bodies. Give us bread, but give us roses. As we go marching, marching, unnumbered women dead go crying through our singing their ancient call for bread. Small art and love and beauty, their drudging spirits new. Yes, it is bread we fight for, but we fight for roses too. As we go marching, marching, people hear our call, for the rising of the women means the rising of us all. No more the drudge and idler tend the toil where one reposes, but a sharing of life's glories, bread and roses, bread and roses, bread and roses, bread and roses.
Oh, and mandolin, thank you. We're really happy to be coming to you today from Chicago, where we are on the road doing some CD release concerts, that's what they're called. And we're going to be going tomorrow to see to visit the gravesite of our namesake, Emma Goldman, who was one of those women who stood up and said, this is how the world needs to be.
And we're also going to stop after that because it's on the way to where we're going next, to Mother Jones's gravesite, because right next to where Mother Jones is buried is our dear friend Ann Feeney, who died of COVID right before the vaccines became available and wanted to go and pay our respects. I'm sure were she here, she would be out singing somewhere, singing labor songs and, on the front lines of some struggle. So we wanted to lift up her voice on this International Workers' Day. And so there are wars raging all around the world. Periodically one or another gets spotlighted. Of course, now it's the conflict in Ukraine, but the others drone on, and the refugees continue to mount, and the families who are separated continue to move and move and move again and again and again as the situation gets more and more dire wherever they are. And again, some of the voices that we least hear from are the women's voices in these conflicts, who are taking their children out of conflict zones and picking up and rebuilding a life somewhere, in hopes, of course, that they can go back to their country of origin. And may that be so for the people of Afghanistan, the people of Yemen, of Ethiopia, Eritrea, and the people of Ukraine. So this is a song to lift up their voices. You can sing with us from where you are. Hear my voice. So
our part is Hear My Voice, or any version of that you'd like to sing.
Okay. Women in search of safety, children in need of food, struggling for our freedom, so I am a refugee. Women of hope and courage, living through poverty, fleeing from war and terror, so I am a refugee. I am a teacher, I am a worker, I am a woman, and I am a refugee. I am a mother, I am a daughter, I am a sister, and I am a refugee. Fighting for education, speaking my native tongue, practicing my religion, so I am a refugee. Powerful and resilient, seeing my people through, sharing my truth and wisdom, so I am a refugee. I am a speaker, I am a dancer, I am a singer, and I am a refugee. I am a writer, I am a lawyer, I am a fighter, and I am a refugee. Women will come together, linking our destinies, guided by intuition, no longer a refugee. Women of strength and beauty, driven by faith and heart, moving our people forward, no longer a refugee. I am a builder, I am a seeker, I am a dreamer, and I am a refugee. I am a leader, I am a healer, I am the future, and I am a refugee. I am a leader, I am a healer, I am the future, and I am a refugee. Hear my voice.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna finish up with one song. It's one of our newer songs. It's it's actually on both CDs. So we released 2 CDs. One's called Rooted, for all those songs that we wrote when we were rooted in place during the pandemic. And then the second CD is called Evolution, because it is celebrating our 20 years of doing this. We couldn't be happier to have all of you as our friends and co-singers and co-justice makers. We love being on this program with you. And this song is on both of those CDs because it was sort of an instant classic. And it's inspired by that big, tall troublemaker played the banjo.
Yeah, we couldn't think about finishing this set without singing something that raised up Pete Seeger's name, and since he was really one of my biggest influences for why I sing this kind of music, and also the incredible organization that he and a bunch of families along the Hudson River created to help clean up that beautiful body of water. When it came time to do one of the online Clearwater festivals, they've done a couple of them during this pandemic. I just thought back about my time in the Hudson Valley and my time with Clearwater, and what an incredible impact that had on my life. So this is kind of a love song to the river, and love song to Clearwater, and to all the folks that create the world that we want to live in. I really felt like when Toshi was organizing the Clearwater revival, that she was creating that world for us, so we could walk into it physically and really feel what that world would feel like and look like and sound like. So maybe this will bring back a little bit of that to you. Water, carry me down, rock me in your arms, sail me on by the river towns, take me with the wind, guided by the moon, sing to me a sweet Clearwater tune. In winter she's safe beneath her shed, where work parties gather to fix her toad ahead. They clean her bow to stern and down below. Soon she will be ready with the melting ice and snow. Water, carry me down, rock me in your arms, sail me on by the river towns, take me with the wind, guided by the moon, sing to me sweet Clearwater tune. Swans return as the ice recedes, beckoning the blossoms, awakening the seeds, bending on the sails we're nearly through. Springtime we push off the dock and sail downstream to you. Water, carry me down, rock me in your arms, sail me on by the river towns, take me with the wind, guided by the moon, sing to me a sweet Clearwater tune. Through the osprey's eyes, navigating the skies, water flows from mountain to the sea. Though I live miles away, I can always say our Hudson River sloop still calls to me. seeker's dream each time she sails, inspiring folks with songs, enchanting them with tales. Ancient water touches all our lives. Keep our water sacred, and we will all survive. Water, carry me down, rock me in your arms, sail me on by the river towns, take me with the wind, guided by the moon. Sing to me, sweet, clear water, water, carry me down, rock me in your arms, sail me on by the river towns, take me with the wind, guided by the moon. Sing to me, sweet, clear water tune. Sing to me, sweet, clear water tune. Thanks so much, y'all.
Thanks for having us.
So much love. Yeah, beautiful.
All righty. Speaking of Tom Prasada Rao, another one of my dear special friends, I met Tom Prasada Rao in Washington, D.C. at a Phil Oakes song night. I had never heard him before. I had never seen him before. And he was recommended by a good friend of mine, Vic Heyman, who was a real special person in the folk community. And Vic said, if you're going to do the song night down here in Washington, you have to include Tom Prasada Rao. So just on his word, I put Tom into the show. And he did a version of Phil's song, I Ain't Marching Anymore. I was standing backstage with the other performers, and it was just jaw-dropping. Everybody just listened to him and said, wow. And since then, he's done lots of other Phil shows. He's done so much. He's written such amazing songs, and he sometimes plays with other people. He's just a gem and plays many instruments. And I just love Tom. He's just very, very special. So I think you want to listen to him instead of me. I think that would be a good idea. So please welcome Tom Prasada Rao.
Oh, thank you, Sonny. Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, yeah, birthdays. Your birthday and my birthday are a day apart.
I know.
Yeah, we're practically twins.
I know.
Except you were born the same year as my daughter.
Well, thank you, Sonny. Thank you for those kind words. All right, I'll just get into it. If I could take it back, I would. If I could take it back, I would. Unspeak what I spoke, unbreak what I broke. If I could take it back, I would. I can't make the clock unwind. Can't hold back the hand of time. Can't blow out that wish. Can't unburn that bridge. Can't go back and make you mine. I could take it back, I would. Before I went all Hollywood, undo what I done, unfeel what I felt. If I could take it back, I would. If I could take it back, I would.
Yeah.
And I would take it back if I could. Well, I've been going through another little tune-up. 5 rounds of radiation I started last week, and got one tomorrow morning and one on Wednesday, and they'll be done. It just makes me grateful for being alive and being able to experience all this beauty in this world, especially at this present moment. That's kind of what this song's about. Consider the lilies of the field, how they neither sow nor reap, but still God's beauty is revealed. God watches over them in their sleep. Then will it not be so for you? Oh, my little orphan child, when your long dark night is through, you will see the morning smile. Look up, have faith, your dreams away. You beautiful, you. Everybody knows the truth. You were such a reckless fool. You spent your brilliant youth chasing your rainbows, your shadows too. But don't think you lost your way, 'cause you're standing at the door. Tomorrow is today, and you are the one you've been waiting for. Look up, have faith, your dreams away. You beautiful, you. Before you were born, God already knew you. God knew you. So ask and you'll receive, seek and you will find. It's not easy to believe that the water has turned to wine, but look up, have faith, your dreams away. You
Wow.
Oh, thank you so much, you guys. That's sweet. I got one more song to do for you. It's a song I wrote with two buddies of mine named Michael Lilly and Tom Kimmel. We've known each other for about 30 years, and we've seen each other through a lot of stuff. And usually the talk gets around to how many times Tom Kimmel has been married when we're together, and I think the count is now four. Maybe it's 5. Maybe this last one was 5. And he gets a good-natured ribbing. But then one day when we were sitting down to write, we were talking about how fortunate we were to have lived so long and through all these incarnations, and yet we keep coming back to love. And love somehow finds us whether we deserve it or not. And it's such a beautiful thing. This is one of my favorite songs that the three of us had written. It's called One More Phase of the Moon. And I'm saying that just because we recently, the Sherpas, Michael Lilly, Tom Kimmel, and myself, we call ourselves the Sherpas, we did a new record, and it's going to be released, I think, on June the 1st. It's going to be on Spotify and other playlists, and you can find it. But this song's going to be on it. It's called One More Phase of the Moon. The honeymoon's over. The house is too still. The embers are dying, as they always will. And if we cling to the light, it fades all too soon. My love, it's alright. It's just one more phase of the moon. We start on the mountain, the wide world below, spread out like a flower, to have and to hold. But if we hold on too tight, it withers too soon. My love, it's alright. It's just one more phase of the moon. Oh, sometimes you wonder if it's all over. Just one stolen kiss. Sweet, sweet while it lasted, but out with the ashes. But yet here it is. The dance floor is empty. It's almost a shame, but here's my invitation to join me again. But don't hold on too tight. If the song ends too soon, so my love, it's alright. Just one more phase of the moon. My love, it's alright. It's just one more phase of the moon.
Tom Prasado Rao. What an amazing songwriter. I'm watching all of these performances tonight. And tonight I don't have any heavy lifting to do. I'm sitting back with the rest of you watching all this. And I am just so amazed at the talent that gets together. And no one's phoning it in. Well, technically, I guess they are, but they're really giving it their all every time they perform in front of their computer screen to share it with all of you. And we're so honored to be able to do this. And again, it's all because of people like you who've donated to our tip jar. And if you'd like to help us out, you can go to our webpage, greenwichvillagefolkfestival.org. You'll see the donate button. You can also mail us a check if you'd prefer to do it that way. Greenwich Village Folk Festival, make it out to them, and mail it to GVFF, Post Office Box 234, Jeffersonville, New York, zip code 12748. And a reminder, we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So again, we thank you for your support. Well, let's see, who do we have? Oh, Brandon O'Sullivan, who's doing all the editing and putting all this together, picked a really good one for us now. One of my favorite songwriters. Let's go to the tape and welcome back Chris Matthews. Tomorrow is the 4th of July. And, for many of us, the idea of celebrating this year is more difficult than it has been in the past with all this division we see in the country, assaults on our rights. Yet there are some voices that give us hope and remind us that we can make change and be on the right side of history. Our next artist is one of those performers that inspires, encourages, and reminds us that we are not alone in the struggle. She's an award-winning and prolific songwriter. Her music helps bridge divides by blending Americana, folk, blues, bluegrass, and funk into a body of work that sends a message of hope and love. Two commodities that we need now more than ever. The title cut from her most recent album, Changemakers, was named Song of the Year at this year's International Folk Music Awards. And Chris has a busy summer ahead with stops at a number of festivals, including next weekend's New Bedford Folk Festival and the Philadelphia Folk Festival later this summer. And you can find out her full schedule at her website, chrismatthews.com. Tonight, we are honored to have her with us at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. An artist that has been hailed as the next Woody Guthrie, but I like to think that Woody was the first Chris Matthews. Please welcome to our virtual stage, Chris Matthews.
Thank you so much. You're too kind. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be here with all of you. Absolutely delightful. I'm going to start with a newer song. As Ron said, coming on the eve of the 4th of July, the eve of Independence Day, it is definitely a struggle this year to feel like there's as much to celebrate about this country of ours. There's a lot that we could do better, and I think hopefully that there's a lot that we will try to do better. This is called cancel culture, and it's called that because there seems to be a very large group of folks who are very, very interested in saying things like, I don't want to speak up, I don't want to say anything, I don't want to say the wrong thing, I'm so afraid I'm going to be canceled, and so I'm just going to stay quiet, I'm just going to stay silent. And that silence is incredibly unhelpful. All that does is keep you complicit in another way. So this is called cancel culture. There's a whole lot in our culture I'd cancel if I could. Instead of banning books, I'd ban gerrymandering for good. The rich would feed the poor like the good Lord said they should, and every child without exception would feel loved and understood. No more whitewashing our history when the truth will set us free. No more watching corporate profits soar while people sink into poverty. No more telling kids they're flawed because you think that your God would. There's a whole lot in our culture I'd cancel if I could. a whole lot in our culture we should cancel right away. Instead of banning saying gay, we should ban racist holidays. Teachers should get to teach without worrying about their pay, or if they'll have an active shooter that they'll have to keep at bay. No more kids in bulletproof backpacks. It's a school, not a war. No more pretending that machine guns are what the Second Amendment was for. No more doing nothing because it's easier most days. If there's a whole lot in our culture we should cancel right away. There's a whole lot in our culture we could cancel if we tried. Instead of banning abortions, we could trust women to decide. Every size and shape of body could be normalized, and every type of mental illness could finally be destigmatized. No more squeezing and contorting into boxes we don't fit. No more saying that we're fine when we're not, but scared to admit it. No more telling little boys it's better not to cry. There's a whole lot in our culture we could cancel if we tried. We've been marching in these streets, singing we shall overcome, praying all the world would give up all their bombs and all their guns. I just want peace of every kind for the whole world tonight, and to believe that Martin was right. We can drive out the darkness with the light. Drive out the darkness. Drive out the darkness. We can drive out the darkness with the light. Drive out the darkness. Drive out the darkness. We can drive out the darkness with the light. Drive out the darkness. Drive out the darkness. We can drive out the darkness with the light. Yeah. So much. Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, that Dr. King quote, you know, darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. I think this is the time, these are the days where each of us need to tap into our light and shine it ever so brightly. This next one that I want to sing for you is called Sister's Keeper. A lot of you know I'm a preacher's kid, so sometimes the titles come out that way. This one in particular, I wrote after Texas decided to, as we say down south, show their behinds, which is the PG-13 version of that colloquialism, by the way. It has taken on incredibly more profound need, urgency with the most recent decision from the Supreme Court. Yeah, what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. I hope there are a lot of you wearing green tomorrow instead of red, white, and blue. Rage is like fire. It's warm until it's hot. It's quiet till it's not. And these days, they require all the can't stop, won't stop rage that you got. Every time we catch our breath, they try harder to choke out what we've got left. And it's a mad, mad world. If you're a woman or a girl, they don't see us, they don't hear us, till they fear us, till they fear us. And I know this world is hard on you. But come on, we've got work to do. Pay her what she's worth. Say that you believe her, that it's her body, her choice, not yours. Be your sister's keeper. Rage is like fire. You can't tell how far it's spread till you're in over your head. And these flames, they burn higher. Like a phoenix, wings spread, rising back from the dead. Every time we think we're safe. Oh, they carve and they chip another one of our rights away. And it's a mad, mad world. If you're a woman or a girl, they don't see us, they don't hear us, till they fear us, and they better fear us. And I know this world is hard on you, but come on, we've got work to do. Pay her what she's worth, say that you believe her, that it's her body, her choice, not yours. Be your sister's keeper. Lawson and Wilma and Sunjoy the Truth, Ella Baker, Rosa, Sonia and Ruth, we are the warriors now, like we've always been. These extraordinary times, we were made for them. Liberty and justice are just birthrights for men, with our foremothers' grit, bought and paid for them. And I know this world is hard on you, but come on, we've got work to do. Pay her what she's worth, say that you believe her, that it's her body, her choice, not yours. Be your sister's keeper. Be your sister's keeper. Oh, oh, oh. Rage is like fire. It's warm until it's hot. It's quiet till it's not.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Yeah, you know, it's it's just, I hope that those of you who somehow think that you are not impacted by what is happening in this country of ours, recognize now, if you have not already, that you are in fact impacted by so much, that we are, as Dr. King says, all connected by that thread of mutuality. This is the time for everybody to be just screaming from the rooftops about what is happening in this country right now. I want to leave you with a little bit of hope despite that, and I say that because if you have seen me perform, you know I feel very, very fervently that hope is its own form of resistance, because when we stay hopeful, we are continuing to believe that there can be better, and when we believe that there can be better, we keep fighting for better. So this song is called Hope Revolution. And I want to leave with this song because of 4th of July especially. You know, there's a group of people in this country who are busying themselves with trying to make the colors of our flag mean something other than what they mean. And those colors just don't get to mean anything else. They mean what they mean. And it's an important reminder that more than just cis heterosexual white men have fought and died for this country. People of color have fought and died for this country. Women have fought and died for this country. LGBTQ people have fought and died for this country. And all of us continue to strive ever so diligently to try to make it what its promise tries to say that it can be. So this song is called Hope Revolution. If you don't know what the colors of our flag actually stand for, listen to the bridge. I've seen so many flags flying high. Some were rainbow for pride, some were for saving black lives, and some were odes to the war long lost the last time hate tried to rise. But I haven't seen the red, white, and blue for a while. Yeah, I've seen so many flags flying high. Some were red, black, and green, celebrating Juneteenth. Some were signs of respect to the few, proud and brave who keep us free. But I haven't seen the red, white, and blue lately. This country of mine hasn't felt much like itself. It's no wonder so many put Old Glory on the shelf until the promise of her colors was back within our reach. Then that star-spangled banner, she was lining every street. It was a hope revolution. We the people and the future of our choosing. It was a love revelation. Justice for all, indivisible, one nation. These 4 years didn't feel like the last. The worst parts of our past, it's like they brought them all back. Baby's cage, borders closed, our democracy under attack. Never thought I'd see the red, white, and blue do that. Oh, this country of mine hasn't felt much like itself. It's no wonder so many put Old Glory on the shelf until the promise of her colors was back within our reach. Then that star-spangled banner, she was lighting every street. It was a hope revolution. We the people and the future of our choosing. It was a love revelation. Justice for all, indivisible, one nation, one nation. Oh, those colors aren't just pretty, they're pretty much who we are. Perseverance and justice, vigilance and valor. That's why we were dancing, not marching, as those dark clouds scattered. There was glass everywhere from all the ceilings being shattered. It was the first time in a long time that it felt like it mattered what those colors stood for and who those colors were for. It was a hope revolution. We the people and the future of our choosing. It was a love revelation. Oh, justice for all, justice for all, indivisible, one nation. One nation. And all the insurrections in the world won't change that. I've seen so many flags flying high. Hope the red, white, and blue stays a while. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for having me. God, thank you so much, Ron and Christine. Thanks for introing everybody. Thanks so much. Thanks, everybody.
And our next performer, unbelievably, he's been working for 50 years. 50 years he's been on stage, and he's released so far 41 albums. And it's almost easier to list the instruments he doesn't play than the instruments he does play. I actually called up his road manager, Tom Slothauer, who is in the Zoom room, in the green room, because we wanted him to feel really comfortable, know his road manager's here. If anything goes wrong, you know, he'll fix it. And I asked Tom, I said, how many instruments does he actually play? And he said, well, if it's got strings, he can play it, though he's most known for the hammered dulcimer. And so far, Tom has traveled with our next performer for more than 3,000 concerts for 33 years, 24 countries, all 50 states. And he's better than he's ever been. And there's no one quite like him at all in music. There's only one, John McCutcheon.
Thanks, Christine. Oh. quiet kid in high school, sat in the last row, the old woman with the push cart, stranger on the bus, the one out at the edges, who was never one of us. I am the other, I root for a different team, pray in another language, I wear clothes you've never seen, and I tune to different stations on TV and radio. I hear things that you don't hear, I know things you'll never know. I am the other, getting home from work at dawn, the guy who drives the Prius with a Trump sign on my lawn. I'm the one who sees the world a little different than you. Still I'll come if you're in trouble. I mean, what you gonna do? I am the other, waiting patiently in line, while others cut in front of me. Thinks that is just fine. I am detained at the border. I am stopped by the police. And I wonder when all this special treatment's gonna cease. I am the other, every day just getting by, one who got in Harvard and never wondered why. I am Brooklyn in Topeka, Harlan in LA. I am seventh generation, I have just arrived today. I am the other, I am no great mystery. Wonder is the watchword, and compassion is the key. And when we sit down at the table, this well no longer dry. Bow our heads in thanks and eat our I am the other. Well, so many people have mentioned tonight that this is, of course, May Day, and that this is one of the few countries in the world that doesn't celebrate it as Labor Day, even though it was created in honor of the Haymarket martyrs back in the 1880s. There are so many of my brothers and sisters here from my union, American Federation of Musicians, Local 1000. I wanted to do something in honor of them. This is a song I wrote in last fall in honor of the centenary of the Battle of Blair Mountain. Now, most of you all watching this tonight have never heard of the Battle of Blair Mountain. It was the largest labor war in U.S. history, involving between 10 and 20,000 combatants. I first heard about the Battle of Blair Mountain from my mentor and dear friend, Nimrod Workman. That's his picture over there on the wall, right over my shoulder here. He was a combatant in the Battle of Blair Mountain. Those of you who saw the John Sayles film, Mate One, that was the first skirmish that resulted in the Battle of Blair Mountain. And it was the first time aerial bombing was ever used in North America, and it was against West Virginia coal miners in the Battle of Blair Mountain. The miners vastly outnumbered the company thugs, but when the U.S. Army showed up, the miners, many of whom had just returned from fighting in World War I 2 years earlier, decided they could not fight and fire on their comrades that they had fought alongside a couple of years earlier, and the strike was over. A little bit of sociological etymology here. The miners, to identify one another, tied red bandanas around their throats, and the term redneck was created. But as it happens so often, the people in power took this sign and this name of great privilege and honor and turned it into a pejorative. So in the spirit of so many people who have done it in their own way throughout the years, I thought it was time to reclaim that name. There's a song called Redneck. In West Virginia back in 1921, company ruled us miners with their laws and with their guns. They pushed us and they threatened us till we couldn't take no more. Tied red bandanas round our throats and thus began the redneck war. I am a redneck, I'll say it long and loud. I am a redneck.
John, turn down your guitar.
Well, I'm going to put my guitar away now.
All right, because it was too loud. I couldn't hear your voice.
I'm going to, because today is the day after tomorrow is Pete Seeger's birthday. It's been said before, so I'm going to go across the room here and step over to the hammer dulcimer and play a couple of Pete's tunes. Oh. I'm going to need a different camera, though. Hold on. There you go. These are two of my favorite of Pete's tunes. The first is a love song he wrote to the Hudson River. I think one of the things that Pete taught us was that at the source of all civic engagement has got to be love of place. And Pete went around in 1968, 1969 and talked to all his neighbors, people who likely, probably did disagree with him on just about everything. But one of the things he knew was that they all shared the dream of their children and their grandchildren, loving the Hudson River and boating and fishing and swimming in it. And this was one of my favorites of the tunes that he wrote. He told me that he would, because they didn't know anything about building a boat, which ended up being the Clearwater, he decided he would build himself a rowboat to learn about boat building. And he was out on the river one night. It was a beautiful night. It was clear. All the stars were. It was a full moon. And he was overwhelmed and wrote this song. It's called Sailing Down My Golden River. And then I'm going to follow it with an instrumental that he wrote many years prior to that on the 12-string guitar called Living in the Country. And when I was a kid, I very faithfully learned it on the 12-string guitar. And then I learned to play the hammer dulcimer. So here's a couple of tunes in honor of Pete. Sunlight glancing on the water, life and death are all my own, but I was never alone. Life to raise my sons and daughters, golden sparkles in the foam, but I was not far from home, exploring all the little byways, sighting all the distant shores.
Fantastic, babe.
That's beautiful. Hey, John. Hello from Mount Kisco.
What?
Sounded great.
Well,
Awesome.
thanks. It was doing my best to sort of bring up the caboose of this just terrific collection of musicians, many of whom are longtime friends of mine, and I was honored to be here and got to hear everybody. So thank you all so much. Thanks to all my fellow workers on this May Day.
Beautiful set. Hey, John, could we impose on you to do one more song for us? Would you mind?
Well, you already told me that you wanted me to do this song, so I guess I will.
That's true. I'm a lousy liar, I guess. What can I tell you?
Well, I'm gonna turn over here to my piano for this one. This is one you guys have already heard. Rob wanted to hear it again. You know the chorus. Sing along. Come on, get out of here. When I open the paper, check out the news on TV, it's pictures of buildings exploding is all that I see. But here, there, amidst all the horror, the blood and the bone, are the Davids against the Goliath, defending their homes. I am Ukrainian now, I will stand and I will not bow. Half world away, but somehow I am Ukrainian now. I am the Muscovite protesting out in the street. I am the rabbi learning to pray with my feet. I am the soldier who used to dance in the ballet. I am the father sending my family away. I am Ukrainian now, I will dance but I will not bow. Half world away but somehow I am Ukrainian now. This world that once was so big now seems so small. An attack on the freedom of one is aimed at us all. Sometimes the picture before you is just too hard to see, but I can't turn away like the coward that I used to be. While others are mounting resistance and risking it all, how can we stand by impassive when we hear their call? We are Ukrainian now, we will stand, we will not bow. Half world away, but somehow we all are Ukrainian now. We are Ukrainian now, we will stand, we will not bow. Half world away, but somehow we all are Ukrainian.
John McCutcheon, one of his many memorable performances here at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival. I want to thank Brandon O'Sullivan, who picked some of these great highlights tonight. He edited all this together, and of course the performers that he chose. We started with Jasper Lepak, Scott Ainsley, Abby Posner, Joe Jenks, Emma's Revolution, Tom Prasado Rao, Chris Matthews, and John McCutcheon. And next month, we're going to do this again. It'll be on Sunday, September 3rd, which is the Labor Day weekend, and another highlights package. And then we'll be back live on Sunday, October the 1st, with a special Phil Oakes Song Night. Sunny Oakes will be here, and I'll be her co-MC, and we're celebrating the 40th anniversary of the very first Phil Oakes Song Night. And Sunny has chosen an incredible lineup. Emma's Revolution, John Flynn, Greg Greenway, Reggie Harris, Rod MacDonald, Magpie, Pamela Means, Louise Mosricum, Zach Stevenson, and Winborn. They'll all be here, and we're looking forward to that. That's on Sunday, October 1st. And don't forget, we're here live the first Sunday of every month. We have plans already underway for November and December and beyond. And it's all because of the help of great people like you. The Greenwich Village Folk Festival is a 501c3 organization. The founding producers, Rod MacDonald, Ray Mysick, Jay Rosen, and Jerry Hinson. And it was resurrected in 2020 by both Rod and Ray, and with the help of Jerry Kornbluth and engineers like Brandon O'Sullivan and Greg Greenway. It's just been an incredible journey. And with your help, we'll be here for many, 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 many more months to come. If you'd like to donate, you can go to our website, greenwichvillagefolkfestival.org. There's a donate button there. And you can also mail us a check if you want to do it that way. Write out a check, make it out to the Greenwich Village Folk Festival, and mail it to GVFF, Post Office Box 234, Jeffersonville, New York, zip code 12748. And again, all this information is our website, greenwichvillagefolkfestival.org. Well, again, my thanks to Brandon O'Sullivan for putting all this together. My thanks to all of you for watching and supporting. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your summer. Don't forget, we'll be back here Labor Day weekend, Sunday, September 3rd. Find out what highlights we've chosen. And if you have a highlight that you think we should choose, why don't you send us an email? Go to our website. There's a contact form. You can send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. Again, thanks for listening. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you in September. Good night, everybody.